Fuck. Hello.
Hey, Mario.
Hi. Hi, Ellen.
Harold, you there?
Yes.
Yeah, hello, Mario.
How are you?
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Who's there tonight? Harold, is he there? Okay.
Hello, gentlemen. Hey, Walter. How are you?
Harold, I got a good enough for you. This guy's married 50 years, and the guy, wife says to him, honey, in all the 50 years, you never told me you love me. So he says to his wife, he says, what did I tell you the day before we were married? He says, you love me. And I told you if anything changes, I'll let you know. Okay. I thought it was funny. Okay.
It is funny.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Hello, Renee.
We are on Ayin Bay 72. When we say that he makes a neder that she cannot go to a shiva, what is that preventing her? Why is that closing a door for her? Tana lamacher he makes because if you don't go to someone's funeral, people won't go to your funeral. And she'll die and nobody will eulogize her. Some people say it means nobody will really have a connection with her. If she doesn't go,
Eulogize her.
well, that's soifta. That's the soifta. Soifna is they won't have any connection to her. Nobody will visit her. Soifta is a hesped, but soifna is not. Tanya. Better to go to a mourner's house than to a party. Everyone ends that way. the person who's alive will, his heart will think about it. What does that mean? Dvorim shel misa. He's going to die. The stopad is to do. If he eulogized other people, people eulogize him. The kovar, if he buried other people, yikbarune, he will be zoicha to burial. Tidal yidluna, if he was carried as a mace, if he carried other people, he will be carried. The levayel lavuna. If he accompanied a mace, they will accompany him. Ditan yitanu. Again, carrying the coffin, he'll be carried as well. If he makes a neder and he does it based on something else, he's permitted. What's this davar acher? If, for example, he forbids her to go to a beis ha'ovel because there's people who are immoral, there's immorality going on there, and he can make such a t'nai. There has to be a chazaka that's going on. Avaloy is chazik, local community, and he has no right to make such a neder. V'im omer la almanasha toimri, and then the Mishnah said that almanas, that she's going to tell other people, the tema. What's wrong with telling other people? I mean, dvarim shel kloin. Things that are embarrassing that he wouldn't want to be said. O shetei mamalo mar la ashpa. That means I'm going to make this neder almanas that you fill up a cave or a garbage can with what I've told you. So what's wrong with that? The tea of it. Shetemale v'nofetzes. She's trying to prevent getting pregnant. And that's what he doesn't want to happen. For the purposes of you filling 10 jugs of water and filling up a garbage dump. So, Bishma le Shmuel, that it has to do with she doesn't want to get pregnant. So I understand that that's why you have to divorce or get a ksuba. Ela l'masnisa, according to Masnisan, who cares whether she fills up water? My nafkalimina. Tiyavid, let her do it. Amra Rav Yechlan. She's doing crazy things, filling up water and dumping it on a backyard. People will see her and they'll think she's meshiga, and that's embarrassing to him. If a husband makes a neder that his wife should not borrow from her neighbor a sieve, a mill, so yotziv yitin ksuba. It's not appropriate because it prevents her from being social. She gets a bad name among her neighbors. It causes her to have a bad reputation among the neighbors. If she takes the neder that she's not going to do that, or she won't weave nice clothing for the children, because she's creating the problem. And it leads to bad reputation among the neighbors. Mishnah. The following women go out with a divorce without a ksuba. However, she violates Dinei Torah, and she violates Minag Bas Yisrael. She gives the husband to eat things that have truma hasn't been taken. She has relations with him without telling him that she's a nida. V'lo kotzel l'chala, she doesn't separate chala. Bin noideres v'nei mekayemes. She takes nedarim and she doesn't fulfill them. All of these are going against the Torah. Ezeu das Yehudis, what's a minig b'nos Yisrael, even though it's not written in the Torah? Yotza v'rosha parua, she goes out with uncovered hair. Or v'tove bashuk, she weaves in the marketplace. Umedabersim kolodim, she talks with everybody. Abba Sholomer af hamekalelas yolda b'fanav. The wife curses the husband's parents in front of him. Rav Tarfon Amar afa koilonis, ezeo kolonis. She's got a loud voice. When she argues, the neighbors can hear. So the Gemara analyzes the Mishnah. She gives him to eat food that is not had trumas and maasros taken from it. Echidami. Now, how does this work? Idi yada, if the husband knows, nifrosh. So let him separate the truma. Idi lo yada, if he doesn't know, how is he going to know? Lo tzricha da armale, ploini coin tikin li asakri. The wife says to the husband, such and such coin took the miser. And he goes and asks the coin, and she says, and the coin tells him she was lying. And had relations with a nida. Echidami. Idi yada, if he knows that she's a nida nifrosh, he should stay away from her. Idi lo yada nismach iloi. If he doesn't know, we should rely on her. A woman tells you that she's not a nida, we believe her. She counts herself. And we believe her. She's nemonus. The case was, she said a certain time of Chacham looked at my mare, looked at my bedika cloth, and said that this dam is not dam nida. He went and asked the Chacham, and the Chacham said this, she never came here. If the neighbors know that she's a nida, then he has relations with her anyways, he gets malchus, because that word goes around. A wife that doesn't separate challah when she bakes bread, you can divorce her without a ksuba. Echidami. Idi yada, if he knows that there's no challah taken nifresh, let him take challah. Idi lo yada, mina yada. If he doesn't know, how is he going to know? Lo tzricha damer lei, ploini gabal tiken le sa'isa. Such and such person, he needed the dough for me and separated the challah. V'azol shalav yishtakach shikran. He went and asked that person, and the person said she was lying. V'noideres v'enek mekayemes. She takes nedorim, and she doesn't mekayem the nedorim. The Amar Mar, the Ava nedorim body mesim. Women who don't fulfill the nedorim, that's one of the reasons that children die. Shenemar al titen espicha lachti espisarecha. Don't use your mouth to cause your own flesh to sin. Ve'ezo hein ma'isa yodav shalodam aviyom yibadav of noisav. Your ma'isa yadayim of a person or his children. Rav Nachman Rameach lashav yikesi es pneichem. Lashav meaning aliske shav, when you take the name of Hashem in vain or you do false nedorim. Tanya Rav Meir Omer, kol yodeh b'isha shel deres v'mekayemes, yachzor v'yadirem. If you know that your wife is taking the nedorim and is not fulfilling them, you should make her take a neder. Afraid to get neder yadirena, but my misakin, how does that fix anything? Ela yachzor v'yaknitena k'dei shetidar b'fonav. You sort of yell at her that she should make nedorim while he's there. V'yofer lo, then he can null the nedorim. Amr lo ein adam darim nachash b'kfifa. Better to just divorce her. You can't live with a snake in the same pot. Tanya Rav Miyuda Omer kol yodeh b'isha she'ein koitzel l'chala. The person knows that the wife is not separating challah. Yachzer v'yafri shachrea. The man should separate challah. Amr lo. That's not an answer. You can't live with a snake in the same house. You want to learn that vort regarding challah, so regarding Nidorim, certainly would learn it regarding challah. That means in the case of Nidorim, he has to try to get her not to do so. But regarding challah, it's a problem because sometimes he'll end up eating it before it could be fixed. Bezeu das Yehudis. We said das Moshe, but das Yehudis. What's das Yehudis? One of the examples given, Yoitzav Rosh Parua. She went outdoors with uncovered hair. Great the Gemara, Rosh Parua Daraisahi. Uncovered hair is a Torah. Ufarais Rosh Isha. By a sota, you uncover her hair, which implies that normally her hair is covered. That Jewish girls should not go out with uncovered hair. So Doraisa kills a shapir dami. Any covering, even a basket, doesn't have to be a special hair covering. That would be good midoraisa. But das Yehudis afilu kills nami aser. Going out with something that's not appropriate to cover her hair, she needs a real kisur, according to das Yehudis. If you're wearing a pot over your head, there's no aveira of uncovered hair. Where is this? Das Yehudis Das Yehudis says it doesn't work. Ella b'chatzar, in her own personal courtyard, most Jewish girls don't cover their hair inside their own personal courtyard. Going from one chutzner to another using an alleyway, that's what we're talking about. The Tova Bashuk, if she weaves in the marketplace, you divorce her and you don't give her ksubah. Because when she weaves, she uncovers her arms, which is an erva, and it's pritzus. She weaves right next to her face, so people look at her face. Again, it's a pritzus thing. She talks with every man. Especially young men. I was once by Mar Ukva. There was an Arab girl sitting. She was weaving, flirting by doing it right next to her face. We saw that, we tore it and threw it away. So she asked for it back. Omer bar Ravuka Milsa, my Amrabo. This is an example of pritzus that's mentioned in the Mishnah. Ravina Omer Tova Bashuk Omer, but Rabbanon Ravina Omer Tova Bashuk Omer, and it meant this is what it meant being weaving in the market. And Rabbanon Ami, this is what's meant by Midaber Sim Kol Adam Rabbanon. A wife who curses the husband's parents in front of him, you divorce her. If you curse parents in front of their children, even grandparents, because Yaakov said, Ephraim and Manasseh, or my grandchildren are like my sons. Let a lion eat my in-law, and it was done in front of the son. Rav Tafred Amar Rafa Koilonis, my Kolonis, the husband and wife are arguing about Tashmish, and it's embarrassing. that they have relations in one chutzner and it could be heard in another chutzner. Why isn't this mentioned as a mum? It should be mentioned as a mafarta, kiddashim ikara, that we said it's a lack of tznius, not regarding voice during tashmish, but the Inyan tashmish, the neighbors here. Mishnah. A woman gives kiddushin and al t'nai that she hasn't taken the dorim. The nimtzu alena dorim. It's a mekach tos, and there's no kiddushin at all. You don't need a get. Kansa stam. Let's say it was mekadesh al manas that there were no nedorim, and he took her under the chuppah. The nimtzu alena dorim after the fact. So you don't go retroactive and say the kiddushin is bottled. You say that the kiddushin was chal, but and teitzeh shelo b'ksubasa. You divorce her, but she doesn't get her ksuba. Now, if you give her kiddushin amanashein b'mumin, that she doesn't have mumin v'nimtzu b'mumin, ain't a mekudesh. It's a mekach tos. There's no kiddushin. But if he konsastam, if he married her v'nimtzu b'mumin, teitzeh shelo b'ksuba. Kol hamumin ha-poisim b'kohanim, poisim b'noshim. The kohanim that passel by kohanim, which is mentioned in Masechta B'choros, these are women that passel by women as well. Utranami gabi kiddushin ke'ay gavna. This was learned in Masechta Kiddushin the same way, same Mishnah. So why double it? Here we have to teach the din that the ksuba, she doesn't get the ksuba. Tani kiddushin not ksubos. So they mentioned kiddushin because of the din of ksuba. Hasam over there in kiddushin itzrachalei. That it's a mekach tos, tana ksuba satu kiddushin. There, the ksuba is mentioned agav the kiddushin. Be'elu nedorim amru, the following nedorim would disqualify her. Shelo toichal basar v'shelo tishtei yayin. She makes the door, I'm not going to eat meat, I'm not going to drink wine. I'm not going to dress up in colored clothing. Be'elu nedorim amru, following nedorim are not acceptable. Dvarim sheyesh ben inui nefesh. If it leads to suffering, for example, shelo tochal basar v'lo shetishte yayin v'lo tiskasha b'vdei tzivonim. So Havi Rav Papa analyzes ayo on what part of the Mishnah? Ilem hareisha. So kivin lekapid afilu komili nami. I mean, if he doesn't care, he's not makpid on these things. Or if he showed that he did care, he said, I don't want any ned there. So even a neder that's not so important should be a problem. Ela seifa. That if he was koines or stam and there were nedorim, it's not every neder that she goes out. It's these nedorim that she goes out without a ksuba. These things like basar, yayin, colored clothing, most people are concerned about this. Things that in general people are not makbid about, so they are not nedorim that would disqualify her. Susie? Itmar. Kitcha altnayu kansa stop. He gave her kiddush al manas that there were no nedorim. And then he married her anyways, without a tonight. And then comes out that she was a bal nedorim. Rav Amar tzriche menu get. She doesn't get a ksuba, but the kiddushin was not mizbatel. Shmuel Amar ain't tzriche menu get. Shmuel goes retroactive, even though he was koines or stam, since the kiddushin is a mekach tolus because she was a bal nedorim. There's no kiddushin, and it doesn't need a get. Okay, we'll stop here.
Man's world out there.
Right. We're gonna call. I will call in at 8:00 in 5 minutes for the tzorba.
Okay. Shkoyach.
Tomorrow we'll learn at 8:00.
Shkoyach.
Oh, hello, everybody.
I'm here.
All right.
Yes.
Tomorrow I have a business dinner, so I have to learn at 9 o'clock because I'm not gonna be home in time.
Okay.
Okay, so 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Mario said everybody.
Thursday, the same.
Thursday.
bye.
Everybody's here for refreshments. So